are going to go to our click-by-click demonstration of the Level 3 Cricket South Africa online umpiring exam. So firstly, let me remind you of the process. The process is that you all who wish to write the exam need to pay the exam fee, and the exam fee is $40 for candidates outside of South Africa. It is 400 rands for candidates in South Africa. And on the emails that I've been sending throughout the duration of the course, you will have the payment details listed. The deadline to pay for the exam is Thursday, the 2nd of January at 6 p.m. South African time. That is the same time that our lectures have been starting. So just keep that in mind for your particular time zone. And of course, you also need to send your level 2 certificate from any cricket playing country around the world to training at wpcua.co.za. You cannot write Cricket South Africa's Level 3 exam if you only have a Level 1 exam from a Level 1 certificate from ICC or any other cricket playing country. Those of you who are members of other umpiring associations in South Africa need to get permission from your umpire association, the executive committee members. It needs to be on a letterhead and needs to be addressed to Western Province Cricket Umpires Association, giving you permission to write with WPCUA. If you don't have permission from your home association to write with us, you need to contact your head of training to find out when they will be hosting a face-to-face written Level 3 exam at your home association. On screen, you will see as well that the online exams will be proctored and identification is required for those exams. So let us go into that particular process. On Wednesday, on Friday, I just need to stop the presentation. On Friday, the 3rd of January, those of you who have registered for the exam, and whether you'll be writing on Saturday, the 4th, or on Monday, the 6th of January, you will receive such an email from assessors@examonline.in. The subject of the email will be registration information, and the name that the email will be coming from, it says Umpires Association. The message will be short and sweet. It will say, dear, you have been registered for the Cricket South Africa Level 3 umpiring exam, and it will give you the URL that you need to copy and paste into a Google Chrome browser. Google Chrome is the recommended browser for the exam. If you don't have Google Chrome, I would suggest downloading it before your exam date. I first tried the exam website using Safari, which is my default browser on my MacBook, and Safari didn't work. I know Abdullah managed to use Microsoft Edge successfully for his demo exam. So we know that Safari doesn't work. We know that Google Chrome works. We know that Microsoft Edge works. The recommended browser by the exam online administrators is Google Chrome. So I'm currently using Safari, so I would copy this link and I would paste it into Google Chrome. And then I would also copy my user ID and copy my password into Google Chrome. Here I've got to Google Chrome and I've copied and pasted the user ID and my password. And I just need to click on this box to verify that I'm not a robot. Once I have verified that I'm not a robot, I then sign myself in. When you sign in, you will see the exam that you have been scheduled for. So I have previously done a couple of demos and you can see that I've completed one and I missed the other one. You will only see one exam that you are scheduled to. That will be Cricket South Africa Level 3. And the window period for which you can write your exam will be for the 4th of January if you're writing on Saturday, and it will be for the 6th of January if you are writing on Monday. For the purposes of this demo, they have opened a window period for me from today until the 6th of January. So then we click on Start. And firstly, you have to accept the terms and conditions of the use of the website. And the terms are as follows. This exam is conducted through remote proctoring. Your photo will be captured and your screen will be shared and recorded. Your audio and video might be recorded for future reference. So you need to accept to be able to continue. Next screen tells us that before we proceed to the exam, let's check the subsequent requirements, the system requirements to ensure a seamless experience. Okay, so click on Begin Process, and there is a troubleshooting guide here if you do have any problems with the system requirements testing process that I'm about to begin. So it is checking our internet connectivity, and you do need to make sure that you have got good Wi-Fi. It then checks my webcam. It says your photo captured during this check will be utilized for artificial intelligence verification during the exam. Please ensure to capture a clear image of yourself. Your face must be positioned inside the oval, optimal camera distance, and the photo must be clear. I'm just going to come slightly closer to the camera, and then I'm going to click my picture. So it's taken the picture and it says kindly verify whether you can submit the photo you captured to the proctor for authorization. And I'm happy with this picture. It shows my face. And so I'm going to save and go on to the next screen. If you're not happy with the picture that you've taken, maybe you had turned your head to the side, then you need to click again and you will be able to take another picture. So once I have saved my picture, then I am going to now take a picture of my identity document. This is to verify that it is indeed Thomas Mokorosi who's going to be writing the exam. So we need to lift up our identity card or document. You can use your passport or your official country's ID to take a picture thereof. Get as close to the camera on your device as possible. And then once you can read the letters on the identity document or card, then you click capture my ID. So just take that step slowly, that you make sure that the text is readable. It's just about readable on my side. It says TC Mokorosi, driver's license, and you can see the picture of my ID. So I'm happy with that, and I go save and next. Now, what happens is refer to the instructions mentioned in the right panel for steps to enable screen sharing. Now, I'm going to share my screen on this website so that my proctor, Abdullah Steenkamp, can watch me and monitor my actions throughout the exam. So I need to click on share screen. And yes, we're going to share the entire screen, and I'm going to click on the entire screen option, and I'm going to share. And please make sure that you're not sharing your Chrome tab, you're not sharing your Chrome window, you're sharing your entire screen. And then I click on share. And then it notifies you that your system is set for screen sharing. And you can then hide this message. Otherwise, it stays on there for the duration of your exam. You don't need it on there for the duration of your exam. Please, whatever you do, do not click on stop sharing. Rather, click on hide. Because if you stop sharing your screen, then the proctor, Abdullah, or myself, who will be doing the proctoring for the exams, will not authorize your admittance into the exam room. So while I was mentioning all of that, the system was doing a final check on my device and internet connections, and it says that your device is all set for the online proctored exam. Let's initiate the authorization process. And when I click on continue, you will see that I am being assigned to a proctor, and I should then see Abdullah, but Abdullah, what he has done on his side as the proctor, he has authorized me, and I am now ready to write my exam. So if there is any requirement from the proctor for you to retake the picture of yourself or the picture of your identity document, then the proctor will appear in this black screen, or they will type a message to you that will appear in your screen, and then you will be directed to retake your picture or pictures. But Abdullah has authorized me straight away because he saw my 2 pictures and he was happy with them. And then I can begin examination. What Abdullah or myself as the proctors might also do is ask you as the exam candidate to show your room surroundings using the webcam of your device. So this is to ensure that there is no material or devices that you can use to help you in the exam, and also to ensure that you're the only person in the room. Remember that it is a closed book exam and you are not allowed to make use of any devices or material on your laptop or anywhere else in the room. So, Proctor, Abdullah, I'm showing you my room, which has got a couple of pool floaters in them and a wall heater and a drying machine. And there you can see my desk, which has got a printer on it. My phone is in the room, and we will see later in the demonstration that you are not allowed to use your phone. You are allowed to use your phone if that is the only device you have available to you. So this website can be accessed by a mobile phone. It can be accessed by a tablet, but it is preferred and recommended that you use a laptop or a desktop computer for best user interface and experience. So I'm going to click on begin examination, and what you will see is it takes a bit of a while to load, and also it needs to be time for you to write the exam. So for example, the exam is going to start at 9 a.m. South African time on Saturday. If you have done all of your authorizations by 8:45, for example, you will not be allowed into the exam room before 9 a.m. So we will open the authorization section of this process at 8:30, which is 30 minutes before the exam is set to start. And Abdullah and I will be authorizing exam candidates in that 30-minute window period before the exam starts. But once you have been authorized, you cannot start your exam before 9 a.m. What you will be able to do is you will be able to read the exam instructions, and these exam instructions currently are not 100% configured for Cricket South Africa. For you on Saturday and on Monday, they will be configured to read exactly how Cricket South Africa needs the exam instructions to read. So take your time to read thoroughly through the exam instructions. There will be instructions such as the room must be quiet and you be alone in the room. No cell phones are allowed to be used except if you're using your cell phone for the exam. No law book, no notes, and no open documents on your computer are to be used. No screenshots of the website are to be taken. No copying and pasting is allowed. No talking to anyone except the proctor during the exam. If you need to go to the toilet, you may ask the proctor for permission. All movement and sounds are documented by artificial intelligence, and proctoring reports will be generated for each exam candidate after the end of the exam. So that is what you will be reading while you wait for your exam to start. When you have read and understood the instructions, then you click on the checkbox and you can begin your exam. Just a heads up, it says here exam time is 60 minutes. The level 3 exam is supposed to be written in 3 hours, which is 180 minutes. But because this is a new process for all of us, and not everybody is fast on typing, we are allowing a maximum of 3 hours and 45 minutes for you to answer all the questions in the Cricket South Africa Level 3 umpiring exam. You will see the time count down as you go through the exam. So now I'm going to begin examination, and here you will see that the questions come up, and you see immediately how many questions there are in total. There are 24 questions in this particular demo exam. And if there are related questions, they all come up at the same time. So question 1 has 4 sub-questions. Question 1.1, question 1.2, question 1.3, and question 1.4. And all 4 of them are displayed at the same time because you need to use the information. Sometimes you need to use the information of the one question to answer the next question, or at least the body of the top of the question to answer the subsections of the question. So you can, once you have read the question, type your answer into the text box provided, and you need to, especially where you have more than one question displayed at the same time, you need to type in 1.1. So in a 4-day match, lunch is scheduled from 12:10 to 12:50. Team Red is all out at 12:03 after facing 31.3 overs from the allotted 100 overs in the day's play. So the question says, discuss in full timings and overs, the procedure according to law that you will follow in each of these scenarios. So here, when the innings ends of Team Red at 12:03, it is 7 minutes before the scheduled lunch break of 12:10. So law tells us that we need to take lunch immediately. So we will go through it tomorrow in the revision lecture, that you need to, when answering your questions, you need to type out the law that is relevant to the question, or at least your understanding thereof. We don't expect you to memorize and know each law word by word, and you definitely don't need to mention which law says this particular terminology. So you just need to type your understanding of the law. So I will say here, law says that if an innings ends 10 minutes or less before the scheduled lunch break, lunch shall be taken immediately and shall be of the agreed length. Therefore, in this scenario, we will take lunch from 12:03 to 12:43. The 10 minutes or 10 minute interval for change of innings shall be included in the 40-minute lunch break. No overs shall be lost for the change of innings. I think it's a good idea to say therefore. No overs shall be lost for the change of innings. And you can easily correct your spelling. You cannot right-click on the words. You just need to see where you have gone wrong with your spelling and correct accordingly. Therefore, okay? So whenever there's a question with overs noted in the question, then we need to mention how many overs are left in the day. So 100 minus 32 is equal to 68 overs remaining in the day. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you would get 4 marks for this particular question, question 1.1. So we've answered 1.1 because the questions of 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4 are all on the same page. We will answer them all in the same text box. So I'll go 1.2 and I'll put in the answer for 1.2. I'm not going to read the question and answer it fully. 1.3, another answer. 1.4, hopefully another correct answer. Okay. What you will have noticed as well is that there are artificial intelligence flags in red showing me that they can see that there's speaking or lip movements detected. Okay, so that is part of the proctoring process. And whenever there's a red flag, the proctor, Abdullah, on his side is seeing these flags and might intervene and send you a message. Abdullah, maybe you can send me a message on your side and say, Tom, we have detected lip movement. Please stop talking. And I want the candidates to see that message pop up on my screen as the exam candidate. While Abdullah does that, I'm going to show you how then to move on to the next question. There I click on next and it has saved my submission for questions 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, and it's taken me to the next question, which is question 2. So here the live chat has just popped up. It says, hi Tom, we've detected lip movement, please stop talking. So that is a first and final warning from the proctor to the exam candidate. And if there is continued infringements of the instructions given by the proctor, then the proctor, Abdullah, you can also type any further infringements and we will terminate your exam. That is the serious nature in which we take these infringements. That is why we have invested in the software. It is a world-leading proctoring software, and it records all movements. You will see if I move away from the screen, what it will say. It will show that no person present. So this is obviously a problem because I, as the exam candidate, have not asked permission of the proctor for me to leave. So what I should do beforehand is I should ask, hi, proctor, may I please go to the toilet? And then the proctor will say yes or no. And if he or she does say yes, then they will tell me how long I have to go to the toilet and come back. So Abdullah, you can type in there that yes, you may go to the toilet. Please be back in 3 minutes. And that will be, we will obviously not allow you to go to the toilet 10 times during the exam. We will monitor your behavior and might even disallow toilet visits if we suspect any cheating from your first toilet visit. What I want to show you as well, after submitting this next question's answer, is if I try to navigate away from this exam screen, what is going to happen? So I'm going to minimize. I'm going to exit full screen, and I'm going to go to the presentation, and I'm going to try and copy and paste some valuable information from the presentation. Let's see, what if one of the questions is the deliberate deception of batters? Let's see if I can copy and paste all of that. When I come back to the website of the exam, I cannot paste, okay? And I should get a pop-up warning to say that I have left the screen. Let me just submit another answer. Not sure why that pop-up message is not appearing. Let me try it again. I've left that exam screen. When I come back, should give me a warning. There we go. It says you're not allowed to navigate away from the exam screen. 2 more attempts would lead to disqualification from the exam. Okay, so you have a maximum of 3 allowances to navigate away from the screen. You should not be navigating away from the screen during the exam. The only reason that we do give 2 or 3 attempts is you could navigate to another screen by mistake. So we will allow you 3 mistakes. On the 4th time that you navigate away from the screen, we will then immediately terminate, the system will immediately terminate your exam, and it will not be marked. So that is how strict the system is in terms of navigating away from the screen.
Tom, just to add, as a proctor, if
Yes.
someone navigates to another screen, I'm able to see the screen because the candidate see the entire screen. I
Correct.
can see where the candidate has scrolled to, and I can actually see everything. If you try to copy and paste, I can see your screen as a proctor. Over.
Perfect. Thanks, Abdullah. Yes, always keep in mind that Big Brother is watching. So Abdullah and I will be proctoring all of your exams coming up on Saturday and on Monday. And yes, we might have up to 30 candidates each that we need to proctor, but we will have visibility of all of your screens, and we will maximize whoever screen has a red flag. Whenever there's a red flag, that candidate, their icon is highlighted. We will go to that candidates and enlarge their screen so that we can see why there's a red flag, and we will either by word or by verbally or by texting you, we will warn you of the infringements that you have just committed. So please, ladies and gents, like I said, we've invested a lot in this proctoring software because of the issues that we had in the level 2 online exam that we were running via Microsoft Teams. It just was not secure enough. Cricket South Africa has forced us to invest in a secure proctored exam solution. This is it. The user interface, as you can see, is very easy to use, and also if your device and your internet connection is good, then you will easily complete the exam in good time. So I'm just going to flip through more answers, and we might not make it to the 24 out of 24, but let's try and do that so that you can see what happens right at the end of the exam. I'm just going through my notes to make sure that I have gone through everything that I need to. If you don't finish in your allocated 3 hours and 45 minutes, it will just submit the answers that you have been able to get through. Let us mark a question for review. So if we're not 100% sure of what we are submitting for this particular question, then we click on mark for review, and then it will actually, at the end, it will tell us before you submit all of your answers that, hang on, you wanted to go back to that question to answer it, or you can easily just navigate to previous, and it will take you to the previous question. I think you can go all the way back to the very first question if you want to, but I'm not going to go any further back. I'm just going to change it to mark for review at the end, and then we'll see what we can do at the end. Just in the interest of time, I'm going to speed through the rest of these questions. And these questions are not what you are going to see in your level 3 exam. These are a bunch of revision questions that you might see some of them tomorrow in our revision lecture. Okay, Abdullah, are there any other functionalities or flags that I have forgot to mention in the proctoring process?
No, Tom, you've covered all aspects. Thanks.
Okay, great. What I will do as well is right now I'm going to allow users or candidates to be able to activate their microphones and their cameras. If there are any questions that are directed or related to the exam process, this is a good time to ask while we are going through the demonstration. So if you have questions related to the content that we've delivered, please hold on with those questions. Please, let's just go through any questions, any hands up, Abdullah, related to the exam online procedures. Last warning, you are allowed you're not allowed to navigate away from the exam screen. One more attempt will lead to disqualification. So that will be my last navigation away from the screen. Abdullah, I see a few hands are up. If you can,
Yes, Tom. First hand was Connor. Connor, can you unmute your microphone and ask your question, please, Connor?
Good evening, Abdullah and Tom. I just want to ask a question that is based on in a match that I saw that happened here during a club match here in PE. So basically what happened was
Connor, we're going to open the floor later on for questions. The questions now is only with regards to the exam, the proctoring, any questions. Once we open the floor for, once we go through the chat box, answer those questions, we'll then open the floor for any other related questions. So don't keep your question. You can just ask it later on. Thanks, Connor.
All right, then, thanks, Abdullah. Thanks.
Okay. Venkat, you next. Can you unmute your microphone and ask your question, please? And after Venkat, Abir.
Hi, Abdullah, Venkat, you mean as in me, right? I'm multi. Can you hear me?
Yes, Malati, we can hear you. Ask your question.
Okay. No, because you said Venkat, I got a little confused. I'm multi Venkat, but still, yeah. Okay, so what I have a question is that I know Tom mentioned it's AI based and any movement is going to be recorded or noted. I was thinking that I tend to drink a lot of water during the exam. So is that allowed?
let's see if there's any flag of drinking of water. It says a book or phone has been observed. So it's not exactly sure what this is. It doesn't say water bottle. So what the proctor will do is they will go to your screen, enlarge it, ask you to do what you did before, do it again, and then we can verify that it's drinking of water, not an issue. What is an issue is if you hold your phone in front of the screen, it does detect that a book or phone is observed, and that will not be allowed. So drinking of water, not a problem. Use of phone, apart from you using your phone in the exam, is not allowed.
Okay, got it. I do have one more question. I'm sorry I could not attend your earlier lecture so far because I was out of the country. Are we required to use a calculator? Are there going to be calculations?
Yes, there are going to be calculations. We'll go through them tomorrow in the revision lecture. So yes, you are allowed a calculator in the exam.
So do we get to show you before, or how does it? I mean, because that is also going to be another motion, right? And an object.
Yes, you can show it to the proctor before the exam, and we will then know what it looks like, your calculator looks like.
Okay. That's all I had. Thank you so much, both of you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Malati. Abir?
Yeah, I have two questions as earlier also. So I work for my office. So I will have my office laptop with the screen, but that should be switched off. I'll not be using that. Is it okay I take it from my office, or I would you advise me to take it from another room?
Abir, if you have your laptop closed, your other laptop closed, it's okay. But to make things easier for all of us, if you could take it out of the room completely, that would be ideal.
Okay, thank you. And the second question is like follow-up to what Malati has asked on the calculator. Can we use a phone as a calculator, or need a separate calculator?
No, don't use your phone as a calculator, please. You need a normal calculator that we allowed to use, because we can't see what you are seeing on your phone. So no phones, please.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Tom, next hand was Viswa.
I tend to stretch a lot and at times speak out or read the questions out. That is generally a habit when I'm taking any kind of exam or doing something with more focus. So what happens?
So normally in an exam room where you have other candidates sitting, would you be allowed to talk? And
Stretching, like physical stretch is okay, right?
physical
I stretch my
stretching is
hands out
okay.
and all that.
Yeah.
Next is if I read it out with only my lips, not like reading out loud, just like my lips only moving, no sound. Just to rephrase the question a few times, just to get my muscle memory in. Is that a problem too?
So I've just spoken without, I've just moved my lips without saying anything, and the AI detected that. So it's going to cause a flag. We're going to have to view you. It's just going to be unnecessary focus on you. So if you are able not to do it, I would prefer that you don't do it. Otherwise, the proctor is going to keep asking you, are you talking? Why are you talking? Because we're going to see the flag. We might not hear it, but we're going to see the flag and we're going to have to act on the flag. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Thank you. Any more hands up here?
No more hands, Tom.
Great stuff. Is it still Connor's hand?
It's still Connor, but Connor's got a general question which we can handle when we do our Q&A.
Cool. So I am got 2 more questions left, and then I will get to the end of the exam. Shadab Khan has got his hand up. Shadab, you can unmute the microphone and ask your exam-related question.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Shadab.
Sir, I have no laptop, so can he get exam on mobile phone or not?
Yes, the exam is possible to be taken on a mobile phone. It's just you're going to have to type everything on your phone, which is not as comfortable as typing on a laptop. But if you don't have a computer, then yes, you can use your phone. The phone must have a camera and the phone must have a microphone.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Okay. So I have gone past question 24 and I've clicked next, and not sure why. I think I didn't put in an answer for question 3, so that's why it took me all the way back. Strange. It's
Looks like question 9 is also empty, Tom.
question 9, correct. So on the right-hand side of the screen, you can, let me just close my live chat. You can see all the questions that have been submitted. Question 9 wasn't submitted. That's why it's gone all the way back. And I'm going to unmark it for review. And I'm going to say reviewed. And then if I go next, it still takes me through all of them again. It now actually has the option for me to submit exam because they're all green. Mohammed Amir Rawoot, your hand is up. Please unmute your microphone. The floor is
Hi
yours.
Tom, the option to submit your exam was covered by the live chat. So if you had left question 3 empty and question 9 marked for review, and you click submit exam, probably would have come up with something.
Okay, thanks for picking that up, Mohammed. So now that we have seen everything is green, I'm happy to submit exam. Of course, what this shows you is that you can go through all of your questions again if you want to check your answers before submitting, all the way from question 1 through to question 24, or however many questions there are. I think there's 27 in the real level 3 exam. So now I'm going to submit exam. And it says, are you sure you want to submit the test? 24 questions answered, 0 for review, 0 not answered. Happy days. Submit. The exam has been submitted successfully. Please wait while the recording is being saved. If this process exceeds 5 minutes, feel free to close the exam window. And also, when you submit the exam and it has finished saving your recording, the proctor is informed that you have completed your exam. So there it is. Your exam is submitted. You may close the window now. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the proctoring process of our new online exams. And you can see that that new exam has moved from my portal under registered, or I think something to that effect. It has moved down to past exams. And ticked as completed. Then what will happen is the exam markers will go into the portal and they will mark the exams online. And once they've all marked, and then they will be, somebody will check all the marks, and then once we're happy with all the marks, then we will automatically send you your results by email. So all online, all very interactive and a smooth process, a secure process. And I'm sure you noted that there weren't any issues in terms of the authorization from the proctor's side and the communication with the proctor as well during the exam. If there are any red flags, is easy either by speaking or by text. You stick to the rules, you won't need to hear from the proctor. You will probably get the results depending on how many candidates we have writing. Please remember that Abdullah and I and other markers will all be involved in the SA20 competition starting on the 9th of January. So it might take us up to about 3 weeks to mark all of your exams. But I will communicate any updates via email.